Today, the American Airlines team is here at the 2023 Women in Aviation International Conference in Long Beach, California. And we're really here to inspire people about American Airlines and the career opportunities that are available to them. This conference presents an opportunity for American to engage with women of all ages. As a woman of color who grew up not too far away from here, it's important to me to really be a part of helping unlock possibilities for little girls like myself. At American Airlines, we're excited not only to invest in those who are ready to take on a role today, but also be a part of creating the future generations of aviation professionals.
I oversee line maintenance worldwide. I have about 6,000 employees in my team. I focus on repair of aircraft. As a division of aircraft maintenance, we're going to be able to repair our aircraft better if we have a diversified team.
The more diversity of thought we have, the better we are at solving problems. There is so much intentionality about hiring the very best people into tech ops these days. One of the things I'm incredibly proud of is just being able to make sure we build a fantastic team. And when you look at what it'll look like in 20 years, it's going to be amazing.
Ultimately, I don't want the next woman to have the journey that I had. I've had a great career, but it hasn't been easy, right? So how do I make it easier for the next woman? That's my goal. It's to make it easier for my child to have the opportunities that I didn't.
American is so excited to present scholarships to very deserving individuals and really give them a chance to continue to pursue their dreams and know that they've got the support and financial backing of American Airlines to do so.
Jessica Maitreya. Congratulations.
I am honored and grateful to be standing here with the opportunity to be inspired and to inspire. Thank you, Carrie, and thank you, WAI.
Today, we are so thrilled to be able to extend conditional job offers to the first female graduates of the Cadet Academy, a program that's existed for almost 5 years that really takes folks with zero training and teaches them how to become pilots, gets them certified, to then ultimately join the ranks of the American Airlines family.
We're proud to welcome 52 new pilots to American Airlines.
I don't even know how I feel right now. You know, I started working in pilot recruitment at the front desk, and now I'm here getting a CJO as a pilot and seeing all the people, the pilots that I worked with from the office. It's amazing. It's a great day.
Being a female aviator of color is just so important. Representation matters. Little kids, brown, black, they run up to me and I'm like, oh my God, I want to be you one day, because they just need to see that to believe that they can be a pilot. Because I didn't have that for me.
American's home. It's always going to be home, and the fact that I get to finish out my career at American, honestly, I'm so grateful and honored, and it's amazing.
This milestone really is the culmination of so many years of hard work and support, where they now have reached the ranks of the American Airlines mainline family, and their journey will just take off from here.